What's up, guys? Before we get to the video, just a couple quick updates on a lot of questions that we're getting. The first thing is that Butterflight is Betaflight with extra code. This is all built off of RC1 Betaflight 3.3. For the foreseeable future, it's going to probably mimic Betaflight. It's all the same code, but just the addition to add the Kalman filters and the VTX thing, which I think Betaflight's actually went ahead and done anyway. So you don't have to follow. So if you follow the steps in the video and set up the Kalman filters and you're like, oh, I don't like it, it doesn't fly any different, it still has Betaflight 3.3 on it. All you have to do is deactivate it, turn your D notch back on, do all that kind of stuff, and you're flying Betaflight. And there's really no need to go through and reflash to Betaflight at this point until things start changing and see how this code progresses and changes as well, because it looks like you're always going to be able to go back and forth. So don't worry about that. Second thing is, the Q and R values are inputs into a mathematical equation that basically when you do them, they create a ratio, and it also can be converted over to a frequency, which is what Butterflight is looking to attenuate and adjust around, combined with the PT1. So those numbers will change. People have been testing this for a long time, months now, and the values that they have are the values that everybody has settled on, are the perfect starting place, just like your Betaflight stock PIDs are. So with that, all that said, let's get to the actual easy setup video. Alright guys, what's going on? Chadwick RC back with you here. And since my live stream went a little crazy last night, I am going to do a quick short version of how to install Butterflight onto your flight controller. Now, everything is like 99.9% the same as you're used to with Betaflight, with the exception of turning on the actual filters themselves. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to this website here, Butterflight.co. This is where you're going to download the configurator, which looks and works exactly like what you are used to. But there are changes that are coming on the way. You're going to click here on Get Config. It's going to take you to their Dropbox. They have the different versions here in direct downloads, zips. They also have it for Mac OS, which is what I'm using here. So you're going to download it, the configurator, and install it and start it, and then you are going to get this. Everybody's pretty much used to how this looks. Real simple, real easy. If you plug in a board right now that has Betaflight, it'll take you into the CLI only. Nothing that you can do. Just play around in the CLI, enter your flight controller into bootloader mode, that kind of stuff. So what we want to do is we want to actually flash a board, and it's the exact same process, guys. Nothing crazy. Plug in your board, select what you have. There's different versions out already. I see there's a 3.1. I have flashed all of my stuff with 3.4. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Full chip erase. I would recommend staying on the stable release though. This isn't going in a quad right now. Load firmware online. Flash firmware, and then everything is just going to flash as normal. Alright, so now that we are flashed, we're going to go back to the main screen here, And what I did for 8K on an F4 board is I just took a picture of this right here and then just typed this stuff into the CLI. If you are running a gyro or a board that is capable of 32 kilohertz, like a Raceflight Revolt or something like that, then you have a couple extra settings that you can see right here that you will have to type in as well. Back into the configurator, we'll go ahead and open it up. And you can see everything is working and looks just like everything that we are used to. Keep in mind, this is a fork of Betaflight with extra stuff added to it. Betaflight is open source, so that's what they're allowed to do. As far as setting up your quad, everything is the same. You're going to go ahead and do all of your normal configurations and everything like that. This will work with D-shots, so multi-shot I don't think anymore is necessarily preferred. I have a few vehicles run. I have a few ships running on 600 and 1200 and not having any issues at all. Over here is where you're going to set your PID loops. We all know that. And then, of course, if you have a newer flight controller that is capable of 32K, then you're going to enable it right there. And you're going to run pretty much 3216 is pretty much what everybody's doing. So we'll just pretend like we're going to set this up. So we're at 8K. Down here, we are going to go ahead and turn on our usual stuff that we would do and save and reboot. PID tuning. I took my exact PIDs that I have been using on all of my ships and started out with them. I actually have ended up been able to increase my P gains and not really do anything with I's and D's. While we're in here, we are going to go and enable PT1 and we are going to turn off all 3 notch filters and let Dynamic and Kalman take care of everything for us. So once that's done, set up the rest of your stuff, receiver, OSD, all that kind of stuff, and then go into the CLI, and then to enable the actual Kalman filters, we are going to type in the commands that we got right here. So on an 8K board, we are going to type all of these features, set D-term low pass, which we've actually already done by checking the boxes. But if you want to type them in to feel safe, then that's fine. You can do that. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to copy and paste that one, go into CLI, click on paste, press enter. You'll see that we have now turned it on. We're going to save at this point. And then we are going to enter in our values for Q and R. So we're going to set gyro underscore filter underscore Q space equals space 400. And then we are going to do our R, which is 88. Click save. Oh, I'm sorry. Click enter. And then we are going to just type in save. And that's it. Everything is set up the way that it needs to be. Dynamic on, all your notches off, type in all these codes. That's it. Everything else is set up exactly the same. Go out there, tune your craft up, have a great time, and make some of that butter.